You know who showed no resolve? The New York Football Giants. They looked sorry. Little brother prevailed in overtime for the first time in over 20 years. Leave it to the New York Daily News for a fitting headline. Blew it again. The fifth time this season, the G-men were leading in the final 2 minutes of the game and couldn't close it out. Now they fall to third in the NFC East behind the Redskins and Eagles. Who came up with this question? Skip? Are the Giants done?
I got bad news for both of you.
Oh, whatever.
You Giants fans.
I don't even want to talk about it.
Quasi and full-blooded. Your Giants are D-O-N-E. Done, done, done. J-E-T-S,
like your Cowboys.
Jets. D-O-N-E, done, done, done. Thank you, Jets.
You're wrong for that
for
cheer.
eliminating the New York Football Giants and giving my Cowboys a little life support breath of life. They're still hanging on. They
Always
are.
comes
It's
back to you.
unbelievable to me. Here's why your Giants are done. They are on course to have the worst defense in the history of your storied franchise. And your quarterback, when you least expect it, is still an accident waiting to happen. Accidents happen all over the place in the fourth quarter with Eli Manning. I don't know what it is because he's having one of his better years, but when you least expect it, when you need it least, Eli will throw it to the other team. That is 5 fourth-quarter leads they have coughed up.
Yep.
3 double-digit fourth-quarter leads they have coughed up. And I, for one, I had absolutely no problem with Tom Coughlin going for the throat, going for the kill on 4th and 2 at the 4-yard line with 8:39 left in the football game because your defense is so bad. Tom Coughlin's thinking, I need a 17-point lead here because I don't think we can hold it. What has history told you this year? They cannot hold leads. So he said, you know what? I'm going for it here. I don't blame him. None of the players blame him. They all loved it.
I blame him.
And right on schedule, Eli is crazy Eli he's looking around. Oh, he throws it to, who's this guy? I don't even know who he is. Rontez Miles. I wasn't even sure he was. Like a backup safety. He throws it right to him. What? Now, I don't know if Ruben Randall stopped on the route. I don't know what happened.
He did.
But, okay.
That was Ruben Randall.
All
that was on
right.
Ruben Randall.
Well, I don't know whose fault it was.
Right.
You know, they wouldn't
Randall.
say after the game.
I was watching.
Okay.
It was on Ruben Randall.
But my point is, Ryan Fitzpatrick was in the midst of throwing for 390 yards. It took overtime. 390 yards. That is the best Jets quarterback passing day in 15 years since Vinny Testaverde in 2000. Are you kidding me? And it was a Giants home game. It should have been majority Giants crowd. I saw a lot of Jets fans, whatever. But it's their season ticket holders had the tickets. So in the end, I look at the schedule. They go to Miami. That could still be dicey. Then they got Carolina at home. That's real dicey. Then they go to Minnesota. I don't know about that. And then they get the Eagles at home. They are going to lose at least 2 of those games. And I told you last week, the Giants they got the worst record in the division, 2-3. So I don't think they can catch up enough in the division, even with one more division win, to get to 3-3. To keep them, let's say everybody finishes at 7-9, which is distinctly possible right now. I still think the Giants are on course to lose the tiebreaker. So they are D-O-N-E, done, done, done. Thank you.
I respectfully disagree only because I believe it is premature. I do recognize the fact that the Giants have the worst passing defense in the NFL. They rank dead last. They're second to last in yards allowed because of what they give up in the air. It is pathetic. The fact that Tom Coughlin, his signature is defense, and this has been allowed to happen. As far as I'm concerned, he is on the clock. He will not be the head coach next year. By the way, Jerry Reese, who I like a lot.
I know you do.
Bottom line is there's no way around it. If you talk about Tom Coughlin, how can you not talk about Jerry Reese? Because the reality of the situation is clear. When you look at Odell Beckham Jr. and the sensational performance that he puts forth, even though he's got to keep his head in the game because that was a costly penalty when you're kicking the football.
It nearly cost the game. I thought it was.
It nearly cost him the game. That's just idiotic on his part.
You have no idea how mad I was. You have no idea how stressful. Sorry, Stephen.
Six receptions for 149 yards. I look at him and I say to myself, boy, did he save Jerry Reese, because he's such a sensational pick that it's glossed over the number of picks that haven't been that impressive. Somebody mentioned to me, and I need to double check this because I don't know definitively, but I remember, that Jerry Reese, of all the picks that he's drafted, who has signed a second contract? under him. Out of all the draft picks, I think that's an interesting stat to look up because it speaks to the level of talent or lack thereof that he's given Tom Coughlin to work with, but it also speaks to Tom Coughlin because I'm looking at the New York Giants and season after season after season, even once when they won the Super Bowl, they were 9-7. And now you're talking about the possibility of them. Somebody can go 8-8 and win the NFC East.
Well, that might win it going away.
I'm just saying that's how pathetic the division is. Here's the reason why I haven't closed the door on the New York Giants. The New York Giants, because of their offensive arsenal, even though Ruben Randle, it would be nice if you showed up. 2 receptions for 22 yards. Could you help Odell Beckham Jr. out just a little bit? Pretty please with sugar on top. That would really be nice. Having said all of that, when you look at the Giants and their potential offensive prowess, do I believe they're going to beat Carolina? Hell no. But are they the kind of team that can surprise you and show up on a Sunday afternoon and pull that off? Yes, they are. You've got Miami coming up. Could you beat Miami? Absolutely. You could probably, you might lose to Miami. You could beat Miami. Then you've got Minnesota. We saw how Minnesota wet the bed yesterday. If you neutralize Adrian Peterson, Mr. 18 yards rushing on 8 carries, if you neutralize him, who knows what you could do to Minnesota, but we'll revisit that in a minute.
Yeah, but they might turn Teddy Bridgewater back into Joe Montana.
There you go. So we'll visit, but we'll visit that.
They might.
But we'll visit that. Here's where your Cowboys are finished and you don't even need to give life to anybody. Let's erase that thought, that notion right now.
Don't give people hope, Skip.
Chances are,
I didn't say a word.
Hear me out. Chances are Philadelphia and the New York Giants will be at least a game ahead of Dallas by the time the last game of the season arrives.
At least one game ahead?
About one game. So what I'm saying is, listen to me.
Okay.
They got to play each other, which means one of them win.
Okay.
That's where the Dallas Cowboys are finished. Because if the Giants were not, if the Eagles and the Giants were not on one another's schedule, you'd have a point. But the fact that 2 teams in front of the Cowboys play one another, and you've got the Redskins still in a position to really put the nail in the coffin to the Cowboys tonight, Dallas has no shot. So that's where we are.
So just a question, just so I'm thinking straight here. Help me out here. I'm not very good at math. So if my Cowboys somehow, improbably, shockingly, against all odds, won at Washington tonight, I'm not predicting it. I'm just saying if they did, am I right they'd only be 1 game back?
Yes.
Okay, so wouldn't that make them statistically still alive?
No,
right?
I'm saying statistically they're still alive. I'm saying theoretically speaking, with you and I talking. I know mathematically and statistically they're still alive. I'm simply saying to you the fact that the Eagles and the Giants are on one another's schedule, I presume they'll be ahead of the Cowboys. And since one of them has to win the game, I'm not predicting a tie. At the end of the day, that leaves your Cowboys on the outside looking in. In the end, that means to me that the Giants are not finished. I could see how you predicting that they'll lose at least 2 of these games. I'm actually with you, but it is possible they could win 3.
Okay.
I need to say one more thing that just was hard for me to watch. Forget them not kicking the field goal. Seeing JPP not be able to be JPP. The couple times when he couldn't.
He had a sack with the wrong hand and he couldn't hold on.
That was really hard to watch.
Other thing
that was hard to stomach.
The New York Giants have played 12 games this year. They have 15 sacks. I mean, that's just no pass rush.
And by the way,
that's no pass rush.
I got to remind both of you.
None.
They have now lost 4 of their last 5. That's not a good sign. I got to tell you.
They've lost 4 of their last 5 to back.
Okay.
When has that happened?
All right. So now back to the bottom line, and I haven't heard that. I'm going to go on record here. Washington is still in the driver's seat in the NFC least because they get my pathetic Cowboys twice, tonight and season finale. And my Romo-less Cowboys shouldn't be much of a problem for the Washington Redskins. Obviously,
I can see Dallas pulling off a miracle and winning one of those games.
Okay, but they get them twice, so they get the worst team in the division twice. They get to go to Chicago. Bears blew a pathetic game yesterday with a missed field goal. Then they get Buffalo at home. They go to Philadelphia. Then they go to Dallas. Dallas is worse at home than they are on the road.
And I'm just saying to you, 1 loss by the Dallas Cowboys will have 9 on the season.
Okay.
Scratch it.
Scratch them out? All right. I'm glad you said that.
Out.
We got you on record.
All right.
I've been on record all year. Where you been? Where you been? I've been telling you the accident waiting to happen. I've been telling you what can't go wrong will go wrong. I've been telling you, I've been right.
You've also
Selective
told me
memory.
if they had been healthy, that they would be running
I did,
away.
Yes.
but I
running
told
away.
you something would happen, and this happened.
Okay.
I keep telling you this stuff.
I think
trying to
it's
help
happening
you
to
out.
the
I'm just trying to help
Giants.
you out.
Let's
You
take it
don't
to the streets. We need the people to get involved. Here's our big
Why?
Twitter vote of the
people
day.
involved?
Here's your who's your favorite, to win the NFC East. Now head on over to our account, cast your vote. We'll have the results a little later in the show, and the guys will make their picks as well. Coming up, the Hawks are flying high after another impressive performance from Russell Wilson. Are the defending NFC champs now the team to beat again this season? And we're here for you to get your Monday off right. Check us out right now on Instagram. We'll give you the complete rundown. Back in a few.